Love Wrestling Spot. My name is Terry. I'm with Danielle from the Pretty Hills, and I'm with Nicole from Down for the Count. Today, we are with, she likes to call herself the plus size Pam Grier. Pam Grier, yeah. Every day she makes me love thick women more and more. She's unapologetic, everything that she does. We are Miss Faye Jackson. How are you doing today, ma'am?
I'm good. How are you? Thank you for having me.
I'm good. Thank you for coming on. So my first question I always ask is, what started your love for wrestling, or why you love wrestling?
What started my love for wrestling is I grew up watching it. Like, I grew up watching the back WWF era, I guess you can call it, from Shawn Michaels to Bret Hart to Luna was in the ring from time to time, Vader, Undertaker, and I started to branch off and realizing there was a WCW when you flip the channel. And when I got into like my preteen years, I discovered if I stayed up at 1 a.m. on a Saturday and held the antenna, I could watch ECW. So I always just been a big fan. I'd watched it since I was probably shouldn't have been watching, especially with like the Attitude Era coming around. But it is what it is. It made me the person that I am today.
Hey, when you talk about holding the antenna up, man, I didn't even have an antenna, but I just remember the scribbly lines coming through at like 12 midnight, and I could watch ECW just a little bit, but I couldn't make it out because, we have those channels here, and my parents weren't paying for them.
Yeah, look, I will say, because I, to this day, will shout out my mom for having the chip, and can't no cable companies come after her, because this was years ago, back when everybody would have a little bootleg box, and I had the AV box in my room, but in the basement, we had all the channels. All of them. All of them.
Sometimes you got to do your thing to be able to watch those channels.
Hey, so shout out to Mom for making my love for wrestling even more heavy, because I didn't miss a pay-per-view.
So I want to continue on your love for wrestling, and just this will be my one of my last questions. Then I'll come back. So you started watching with Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart. Who was your favorite growing up?
My absolute favorite actually was Jacqueline.
Oh.
I saw her in WCW, and the reason is when you get to a certain age, you start to realize that you are different especially from people that you go to school with. When you're, I would say, an adolescent, you don't realize the color of your skin tone until somebody tells you what color you are. So then, and of course, my mom being the militant person that she is, she's like, oh yeah, you're going to go to all these white schools, but you black. You remember that you are black. You are different. You stand out, and don't let nobody give you no shit and no this, that, and the third. So for me, actually watching that on TV and seeing this strong, beautiful Black woman doing something that I absolutely love watching, that was like the coolest thing to me ever.
Well, that's a perfect segue. You said strong, beautiful Black woman. We got two other strong, beautiful Black women on here.
Yes,
so
we do.
I'm going to let Nicole and Danielle go ahead. And I'm going to drop out for a second.
Nicole, I'll kick it to you.
Okay. So I know we kind of talked about this for a second, but about the Great Sweatpants Battle Royale. So what was the inspiration behind that?
I'm a single woman, and being a single woman, I have needs. There are certain hashtags you can look up when you have those needs. And one of the hashtags is called Gray Sweatpants. And, when you look that hashtag up, you see some wonderful pictures of, not too much, because I don't want to see the whole thing, because they're not cute. But, you see like a indent of it. Like, all right, okay, you might be holding something. Who knows? We'll find out. Let's see. And for some reason, it just popped in my head And plus, I think I was probably ate a golden graham that night too, and I just decided to tweet like, "What if there's a gray sweatpants battle royal?" And everybody's like, "Oh, Faye being a creep, Faye being a creep." But actually, someone hit me up. It was like, "Is this a real thing?" And I'm like, "No." Like I said no so many times to people. Like, no, it's not a real thing. It was just something I said. But then after a while, I did get someone to say, "Hey, we have a ring, we have a building. Let me know if you really want to run this." And I was like, "Huh?" Like, it was a joke. Like, I kept saying that it was a joke. What are y'all talking about?
It was a powerful joke.
Like, no, seriously, I think you'll make a lot of money off of that. You should run it. And I'm just like, I slept on it, prayed on it, asked people, like a couple of mentors and things like that. Like, hey, should I do this? And they're like, it's different. Why not? Everybody doing something. And it's like, if Joey Ryan can have a penis party show, why can't you have a gray sweatpants battle?
Exactly.
There you go.
I was like, all right, so let's get the ball rolling. And then I think I was probably one of the last shows to be announced because I didn't know it was going to happen. I didn't know this was going to be a thing. I was just making a joke. It was a joke. Like, it really was.
But the funny thing is, when Big E had posted his, Big E got in on it. I was like, oh no, this is real. And that's when I talked to the girls. I'm like, girls, we got to get down on this. I said, you never know who may show up. I was like, we got to be there.
That's what I said. I was like, because at first, when I was going to buy one, I was like, I'll just get a general as like admission because I was going to take my friend Jess because that's who I was going to spend most of my Mania week with. And I was like, I'm like, should we do this? And she was like, I think we should. I was like, yeah, we're just going to sit up front. Because I was like, we don't know who might be there. I was like, if I'm going to go to something like this, I might as well get the whole experience. So I was like, I asked them to sit up front.
When I announced the show and I had people that like wanted to be a part of the show or just wanted to help contribute, the people that actually did, DM me and talk to me and say, hey, if I can't be a part of the show, at least let me help out in some way.
Yeah.
It kind of made me feel like you may not show me love publicly, but you definitely got my back privately. And I appreciated that so much. Where, I did announce everyone. Like, I didn't, because I wanted people to actually come to the show and watch it and, just be surprised by all the surprises. I had a few surprises in the bag.
I can
people that agreed to do it and say yes, I was just like, are you serious? Like, you know what this show is, right? And they're like, yeah, I'm with it. Let's do it. And especially, I decided to do it for charity because at the end of the day, this show was going to be so big and so important. I didn't need the money from it because I was doing shows that weekend anyway that honestly, as soon as I did those shows and got my fee for that, and then if I sold merch that weekend too, that show, I didn't need it. I didn't need the money from it. So might as well give it something worthwhile.
It was going to be epic. And I knew you had stuff up your sleeve because that's what that weekend's about. It's about, we show you the card and then there's going to be more because any and everybody who had anything to do with wrestling was there that weekend. Like, the amount of connections, and that's why, like, and then we'll talk about it and then we'll leave it alone. That's why Mania was so heartbreaking for so many people because the amount of people who were going to collaborate and who were looking to like meet up and do stuff together that weekend, it was so monumental. And unfortunately, what has happened has happened. But,
that's why.
People got sick and, coronavirus, we're learning. It's August. We're learning. It's real because, things are not the same.
Yeah.
So, hopefully, I'm going to put the blessings in the air for 2021 that, what we lost in 2020, we will make up in 2021.
Yeah, that's how we have to view it. So not only that, so what also I love about you, because like I said, because I support anybody who's from Ohio. Because I'm Ohio. So I said, that's me. I said, especially you Black and from Ohio, you get double support from me. So that's just how I roll. But what I love also about not only about your character, about you, is that you've taken upon yourself to sort of being like, I know, like you like to say it, like your wrestling's auntie, and you're really looking out for not only the girls, but you're also looking out for the LGBT wrestlers, and you're really doing what you can. Even I know we say, and I know a lot of our Black independent wrestlers sometimes don't get the booking. Well, I'm not saying sometimes, a lot of times they don't get the booking they deserve, and especially if they're vocal on certain issues.
Right.
And so I commend you for always being like, nope, this is me, I'm sticking to this. It might cost me, but I know at the end of the day, this is what's important. So
Oh, absolutely. Because I don't want to say we have to stick up for each other, but in a sense, you do have to stick up for each other. And sometimes it's a lot of tiptoeing in this, especially in this business. And as well as there's a lot of like, just people don't want to piss other people off. And it's easy, especially in this business, is like the smallest thing to piss off an influencer. Like, oh, you hit me wrong, I'm going to bury you forever. Or, hey, that person didn't speak to me, I'm going to bury you forever. When it shouldn't even be about that. And it especially comes with us as Black wrestlers. We do one thing wrong, and it's like, it's on our back forever. Forever. Meanwhile, Susie Q with the blonde pigtails could do the exact same thing. It's like, oh, she's learning, she's new, and or it's always an excuse for someone. So it got to the point where I've been in this business. I've actually been in this business for 6 years. I've been wrestling for 4 years. It'll be 5, like the beginning of February. But I've seen a lot. And after a while, you just don't want to keep your mouth shut. So if I got to be the voice of reason because you don't like it, at the end of the day, I'm grown as fuck and I don't care. So you going to bury me. But what you're not going to do is say that you buried me because I was wrong. Because at the end of the day, if you were that mad, you wouldn't be pissed off and you wouldn't be trying to bury me. And that goes for a lot of people. A lot of people don't like to like stick up for other people because they feel like they're going to like step on the wrong toes. Like I said, especially with us, especially with Black wrestlers. And it's getting to a point where enough is enough. Where I don't mind sticking up for someone like Sonny Kiss. I don't mind sticking up for someone like Nyla Rose. I don't mind sticking up for like for some of the younger generation that's coming up. And it shouldn't, if you're mad at what I'm saying because I'm sticking up for them, maybe you need to look apart of why you dislike them. Or why they quote unquote did something to piss you off. Like, oh, she didn't speak to me. There's so many people in the locker room.
Right.
You're not going to be able to go up and speak to everyone. And it's no disrespect to anybody. But, you know, it's just like, let the petty stuff go, especially with us. That's why you see a rally, you're like, oh, well, such and such did this, and the whole speaking out movement. But notice with that speaking out movement, and I'm going to say it, wasn't a lot of us.
At all.
No.
And they tried to come for one of us, and then we kind of came to the defense. You already know
exactly. Exactly. You're not going to do that when there's so many others that done so much wrong, and they got a pass for years.
And I was very upset by that when they were doing that to that particular wrestler, because I was like, you're just mad because they brought up a point, and you're mad that he's right. So you
and that's
purposefully,
what they do.
And it's also at the same time, it's like you have people who are his peers who are LGBT and so on, and different women and stuff. And they're like, no, like, he's actually like grown and he's a good person, all that. And they're like, no, like, especially when you have people coming out the woodwork doing that, then that also shows that person's character. So I was like, you just did this to be malicious. I'm like, you should have sat there, took in what he said, and really looked in internally about why that makes you so mad that he brought up a good point. You just don't want to see what's going on.
Exactly. You're absolutely right. But that's what we have to deal with. Like, we just, you know, we always have to be in our P's and Q's, and people are not allowed to grow. We make mistakes when we're younger. Hell, I make mistakes now. Difference is, if I said it, and I own up to it. But if I said something 5 years ago, 10 years ago, that's probably not my intention. That probably was my intention back then, but people take time to mature. And if you want to punish me for something I said 5-10 years ago, have you matured?
Yeah.
Because I let it go. Like I said, I might say some shit now, and it is what it is. That's how I felt. I'll apologize for it later if, you know, need be. But other than that, something from the past, a lot of people, I mean, you gotta learn to let stuff go.
100% agree.
And I will say that with speaking out as well. Like, there was a lot of horrible stories that came out with speaking out. But then it started to get to a point where I didn't end up saying it. It was just bad relationships. I'm sorry you were in a bad relationship. Doesn't mean they needed to be outed for being in a bad relationship. Unless they, like, physically hurt you, abused you, or just made you feel very, very less than. A lot of them was just bad relationships.
Yeah.
And with bad relationships, you learn to get out. When you get out, you grow and you let it go. You know that's not how you wanted to be treated.
Which I think that's funny you mentioned that, because we touched on that one of our couple episodes ago on our podcast and Down for Account. We were like, okay, like some of this stuff that's kind of coming out now is just kind of like you're just piggybacking off of like these brave people giving their testimonies. I'm like, that person's just a dick.
Yeah.
I was like, don't try to like put your stuff in situations and stories that absolutely 100% needed to be told. Don't just throw like your garbage in there.
Right. And I had girls that hit me up privately, and I will still keep like their names silent because there's a reason why they hit me up privately. But I will tell them if it's a story for speaking out, or if it's a story where you're just in a bad relationship, let it go. Because you need the honesty. And what it did was it just let everybody with a story come out. And, you know, some people need to be aired out. There are people that, thank God they got aired out because now, now we know. But I'm also not going to punish someone for being a bad boyfriend.
Hell no, because I know I'm not the greatest girlfriend, so what am I going to say here?
Nobody is perfect. And when people realize that, when wrestling Twitter realizes that, wrestling Twitter needs to realize that nobody is perfect. And the people that are quick to shame and out someone, I'm sure you got skeletons in your closet too.
No, I get scared and I was like, because I've had my Twitter since my freshman year of college. I'm 30 now. And I get scared sometimes, like, man, what if I get famous one day? What if someone like, and then I get pissed somebody off and they come through? So I was like, I don't know what I said 10 years ago.
People just hold on to stuff when you made bad tweets and assume they'll hold on for it for years. And then finally something happens. It's like, boom, here you go. This is what you said 3 years ago.
Right, because I was like, I was wild as hell back then. I was like, I was probably saying all sorts of stuff. So who knows?
Same. Big same.
But Danielle, any questions I know that you want to ask Faye or add on to this?
Faye knows I absolutely adore her, and when she's in town, I definitely make my way to whatever show she's at. And
I know, because you're the best.
Yeah, we try. We try, but I think we need to. I'm only doing what I feel we should be doing as a people. Especially in the wrestling community, is really just sticking together and supporting each other. So I guess my first question would be, what would you tell? Because in doing these spotlights, we've highlighted a couple of people who I guess are considered like veterans in the independent industry, but also the kind of more interesting part is we've highlighted some young females and males who are coming up. So what would you tell, being in the game in the industry, because I mean, I will count the full 6 years, even though you've only been wrestling for about four or five. What would you tell up and coming males and females breaking into the industry? What advice would you give them? Corona aside, of course, about getting into this industry as individuals of color, and just some advice for them being super new and super green, as the industry calls it.
Just stick to yourself. You're going to have people that if you come out the gate good, you're going to find some way to hate on you. You're going to get people that praise you, but you're always going to get people that somehow, some way, just out of the gate, just try to hate on you somehow. Don't let that deter anything that you want to do in this business. Because with everyone being so positive about you, you will find people that are going to be negative about you. And us as humans, we always focus on the negative instead of focusing on the positive.
It's so easy. Yeah.
Learn. Exactly. Just learn, especially getting into this business, learn to appreciate your positive and don't give energy to your negative, because once you get rid of not paying attention to your negative, your career will go so much better, because it's like, well, this person appreciates me, this person likes me, and especially with fans, like appreciate your fans. So if they say something nice to you, like it, retweet it, just show that you appreciate their love, because the moment you retweet some hate, it shows that you're giving your energy and your power to it. I'm to the point where if you got the nerve to say something about me and you at me and I don't like it, I'll just block you. Like, I'm not giving you energy on it no more. Like, it ain't no point. I also don't vanity search myself, because if you can't say it to me, then I don't need to see it. That's how I keep my inner peace. And that's how I keep myself positive in this business. You got to keep yourself positive in this business. And at the same time, listen to your vets that you respect. Everyone's a vet in this business, or they will come off as a vet in this business. But you have to learn to not listen to everyone, because everybody's different. Everybody's opinions are different. I have my vets that I go to, and I'll send them a match. And even when I send my matches to different vets, they usually have different critiques. And I just I listen to all of it, and I go with what fits me best. I'm lazy. So if they tell me, if I have one vet that I'm cool with that says, oh, next time do this, this, and this, but I have another vet tell me, you know what, just go ahead and do this, I'm probably going to just end up doing that, because I'm lazy. I'm like, oh, that was a quick fix. There we go. I'm going to do that next time. But, find the people that support you, have your back, and listen to the vets that you respect. Show respect to everyone. Don't get me wrong. You don't want to rub people the wrong way, especially a young Black up and comer. You don't want to have that they have an attitude stigma. Just listen to people if they have advice for you. Show that you're listening. But then when you go home, it's up to you to take that advice or not. But just make sure you have that tight circle. Like, when you start, wherever you start wrestling, wherever you start training at, you're going to have your trainers. You're going to have people that you train with. Just go with, you know, who you started with, as well as like just the people, your mentors that you respect.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to them before you start listening to everyone, because everybody got a different opinion.
Yeah.
That's really good advice. I just love to like have people who've been in the game say that, you know, to the up and coming, because a lot of people, we've ran across some who are super humbled, and we've ran across some who are kind of new. They may have like started their journey right before Corona hit, you know, like they had enrolled in the school in February, and then it's like, but you can kind of see that they have a little bit of arrogance about them. So it's like, you know, and I'm a fan, you know, always. I'm not in a place to be like, yo, chill, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Right. But
I always will refer them to this type of video, you know, to say like, hey, this comes from somebody who's been in the game, who's been all over the country, you know, who's been doing this for a while. Just sit and listen, you know, like, and like you said,
take it for someone is like, as soon as I stepped in this business and as soon as I had my first few matches, yeah, I had an ego about myself. I tell people that because I had the people in my ear telling me like, oh, you're a part of this company and you wrestle for this company. You should take no less than this and you should do that. And, you know, just all of that in my ear. So, yeah, at the beginning, I had an ego about myself. And I learned to humble myself quickly, because just because you wrestle for this certain company doesn't mean they translate to other companies, other places. And, you know, you live and you learn. So that's why I'm able to give that advice, as, you know, listen to your vets, but you ain't got to listen to everyone, but make sure you show that you are like diligent and you are listening to them. So they don't go off somewhere and say, hey, well, she was a bitch and I tried to give her advice and fuck her, don't ever book her again. Something like, because it will happen. It'll legit will happen.
Yeah. I've definitely heard stories. So I guess my last question would be, what can we, you know, like I said, Corona aside, what can we expect from Faye Jackson in the future? You know, I mean, it doesn't even necessarily have to be stuff that you've absolutely booked, but like maybe some aspirations you have. What should we look out for? All eyes.
You know what? I will say a lot of people are saying or would have said that 2020 is their year. I don't know if that was going to be for me. I was super proud that I was going to have a WrestleMania show, because I don't know any other females and no other Black females at that actually held a WrestleMania show before. So I was actually, that to me was going to be a good highlight.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm just, look, I'm going where the Lord takes me, step by step. At the end of the day, hopefully I got some good things coming up. I don't know yet because of Corona. So hopefully 2021 will be better. I don't know yet, but we'll see. I'm putting all the good juju in the air that everything great will happen. And then hopefully next WrestleMania, we'll be able to have shows at that time. We'll see. I hope, I pray, you know, I hope we get this all together so we can get back to normal. So I think everybody just gonna try it again. Like, just try. Like, I know GCW is gonna run their collective again. We're just gonna try it again.
Oh, that also broke my heart.
Yeah. I mean, Effie had his own show. AJ Gray had his own show. Like, it was gonna be some groundbreaking shows that weekend.
You know how many bottles I was literally trying to figure out how I was gonna arrange and pour in shampoo bottles for that weekend, because I was like, okay, well, for Effie's, because I was like, I want mimosas. I was like, I was just gonna buy a couple bottles when I was there. But I was like, there's a lot going on, especially with Wale Mania. That was another thing I was really looking forward to, because I
didn't even get announced for that before they canceled all that shit.
I had such FOMO from it last year.
Man, this is gonna be like my third Wale Mania, and I'm tired of sneaking in. There's like, why are you sneaking in the last one? I was like, because y'all ain't know me. That's why.
Yeah. I remember when you and Tasha walked in, because that was Tasha's birthday.
Yeah.
I was like, birthday twin. I was like, let me buy y'all some drinks, because y'all was in the back for a little while.
Yep. Because we had to sneak in. Like, we literally
Oh my
I mean, Shane snuck in too. Shane snuck in the back. A lot of people snuck in the back in the York.
Really?
Someone, it was like, hey, do y'all got a wristband real quick? And then we got the wristband and we went. But this year, I was actually going to go, and I was excited for that. Like, finally, yes. Because Amelia was like, don't think we weren't about to announce you were going to be announced. Because I was like, I'm tired of sneaking in. Like, I ain't saying I'm somebody, but I want to be a part of it. That's all.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, and Danielle and I spoke about this too. We were also upset about there were so many basically things that were going on that was on brand for the culture, like the panel that was supposed to happen.
Yeah.
And I was like, and then your show and AJ shows, and while Mania is like huge, and especially like last year, like I had such FOMO from it. I said, there is no way in hell I'm not going to this. I was like, I am going. So I was just so excited to also be a part of all that, because we had all these wonderful Black creatives within the community.
And last year, a lot of people don't know this, but last year I was only able to take 2 bookings for WrestleMania weekend because I was an extra for WrestleMania that whole week.
Oh, that's why you were quiet, because you wouldn't say too much.
I couldn't.
You definitely, because I'm like, Faye, you going to this? You like, I don't know. And I'm like, what you mean? And I leave it alone. I'm like, all right, if you don't know, you don't know.
Yeah, thing is, I couldn't. So we were there, and just sitting backstage, getting to be a part of like NXT, and being able to see Kofi Mania live. Like, I can't, like, that will forever be in my memory. Just to say, hopefully, if I do have little baby kids in the future and they watch wrestling, I could tell them, like, your mom was at Kofi Mania when Kofi Kingston won the belt. And yeah, that was just, that was amazing experience. And I was just honored that they asked me to just sit backstage, eat their WrestleMania catering and stuff like that.
I know they have some good food. You got to spill it. Once we're done, you got to spill too what they got in catering, because I feel like for amount of people that be chilling back there sometimes, like, I know they got some good food back there. I want to know.
But I think somebody said they saw me on the Kofi documentary or something.
I think so.
And everybody was like, "Oh, she was at WrestleMania." I was just like,
gang.
But even that weekend, I met quite a few legends that I talk to this day. And they helped me out with different stuff. So don't sit here and think I don't make strategic moves. You know what I'm saying? Just because you don't see me on a big platform doesn't mean that I got some stuff going on. Just saying.
That's right.
So we kicking it back to you, Terry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got some questions because I was listening. So strategic moves, let's go with it. Now,
she ain't gonna share, but so much,
I'm not doing that. Is that a "Put Me On" shirt you got right there?
Yes, it is.
Okay, shout out to Keith Mack.
Yes, him and his damn TikToks.
I heard you say you were single, so here's my segue to asking about you being single.
Okay.
Is there maybe 3 women who you would like to have a singles match with that you haven't had a singles match with? Y'all thought I was gonna ask something else, didn't you?
Sure did.
When that's gonna happen when the recording turns off.
That I haven't.
That you have not. Yep.
Oh my God, I don't know. And it's not to say that I haven't wrestled everyone, because I haven't.
Just give me one. Don't have to even give me 3.
Awesome Kong. I just want to see what that's about.
She's on my Mount Rushmore.
I just want to see what that's about.
Not Karma. Awesome Kong.
Yeah, Awesome.
Who's Karma?
Okay. Good. I was just making sure he really wasn't serious.
I only know
definitely
awesome
in the
Kong.
indies. I would probably say I think me and Hyann. I much respect to her.
Shout out to Hyann. She'll be here
Who else? Trish.
Adora.
Yes. Well, she works.
Oh
yeah. So I know. Yeah, she definitely she likes to hold it down. She likes to keep busy. So even with this coronavirus going on, she out there making her money.
I get it.
You also said you retweet your fans and just like their stuff and everything. So this is just me just shooting it out there trying to get put on. Can we get a follow on the We Love Wrestling account? Can we get that?
Yeah.
There it is. I like to hear that. I got to put it out there. And my last question, the great Sweatpants Battle Royal. You announced all these men, but you had some women coming too.
Yes.
Could you name maybe 2 or 3 people who were coming that you didn't announce? Or
nope.
You can't do it?
Nope.
So here's what we want to do. No. When you announce it for 2021, we want to buy the first tickets. So yeah, the next one, whenever it is, we support and it's about the culture. I'm all about the culture. We're going to do that.
All right.
So I got 3 tickets. Nicole probably got 3 and Terry got 1. So what's that? That's 7. So you got 7 tickets. You getting ready that are already sold.
Already. Look at God. See? And then hopefully I've been manifesting. I don't know if y'all are into that or not.
I'm with all of it.
Yeah.
So I'm manifesting Adina Howard to come perform.
Wow.
That'd be lit.
Wow, that would be lit. It definitely would be lit.
Yo. I saw Adina Howard in concert like 3 years ago. And let me just say, if Adina Howard's there, it's going down.
That's what I want. That's what I want.
It's going down.
All I need is 4 songs. 4. And then she can enjoy the rest of the show. All I need is 4. She got 4.
Yeah.
She got 4. Yes.
Terry was singing them in his head right quick.
I was just thinking.
No, he really was.
I was just thinking.
I was trying to think about how many tequila bottles I have to bring. That's what I was.
And it's LA, so LA. That's just gonna be a whole different scene.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, heck, I'm hopping to Mexico real quick to get it then.
No, but what we're gonna try to do is get Mr. Johnson to get you a sponsorship, since he out here with tequila.
Yeah.
He needs to be a liquor sponsor.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Have him be a surprise entrant to the great.
If you got Dwayne Johnson, that place would probably bust out the seams.
Oh.
He would have to be snuck in. He couldn't walk in. You can't announce.
I know, right?
He'd have to be.
I know. How crazy though.
That would be bananas.
Would be. You couldn't. It wouldn't be. It would be hard to get in. People wouldn't want to leave. It would just be like, we just gonna be here all night. Like literally, we just gonna be here all night. We just gonna kick it.
And for this one upcoming, like I said, I've been manifesting. Like I was still able to donate money to Planned Parenthood, which I'm grateful for. But next year, I definitely want to do it for Black Girls Rock.
Oh, okay.
Tight. Nice. Before we wrap up, I got to ask this question.
You pouring them on thick today, Terry.
I don't really be talking, but it just hit my mind and everything. What's up with your cousin Tasha? I see this all the time, and it's hilarious to me when I see you be like, nah, that's my cousin Tasha.
Because she look, I ain't going nowhere because of coronavirus, and it's real in Florida. So I'm keeping my happy ass at home. But
she's just out there.
Yeah, Tasha decided, look, you can stay home. I'm gonna go and watch some wrestling. I don't even know who the hell is there. I'm just going and watch it. And I heard there were parties afterwards, so I'm gonna go and hang out at these parties and just have a great time. But you keep your ass at home. So
I'm glad Tasha's still living her best life.
She got quarantined. Trust me, she got quarantined before she stepped back in this house. But But yeah, she was out there living her best life. I didn't know they was gonna put her like dead center in the camera. I was just like, good Lord, like, you really out there living your best life. Hey,
you caused a
everybody was
storm in the
assuming.
wrestling community.
Sure did.
Everybody was just assuming, and what people forget is I do have a lot of like close friends and people that I've known because of the indie business that are with AEW. So it ain't nothing for me to just go down there and hang out. Don't mean nothing. I ain't asked for nothing. I literally just went down there just to hang out, see what's up. That was it. I didn't want people assuming nothing, like, oh, she's gonna be on Dark. No, not if you ain't bring your gear. I just went down there because I was tired. I've been working my shoot job since Rona started and working extra hours. I'm tired. I need a vacation. Let me go.
So before we go, can you let everyone know how to follow you, get in touch with you, your social media?
Social media is Faye Jackson 419 on Twitter, Instagram. You can go to my Big Cartel store, fayejackson.bigcartel.com. I got my Patreon if y'all into that. Patreon.com/FayeJackson419. That's how you hit me up.
Follow her, go on Patreon if you do the Patreon thing. Ladies, do you have anything else you want to say before we kick out of here?
Oh, I just want to thank you again for taking the time out of your day and, hanging with us. Like, we appreciate it. People don't understand how important these conversations, I know the times are what they are, but I think Corona has forced us to do this teleconferencing, and it's forced a lot of people to get to know each other in another different realm. Because me and you, when I hang with like my wrestling friends, we don't have these type of conversations. We're talking about real life stuff, or we're trying to find the next place to go, So fortunately, one of the upsides, right, of Corona is that it's provided us with these type of opportunities to kind of get to know each other a little better and know more, and even just maybe, collaborate and work together on things going forward. So I want to say thank you for taking this time out.
No problem. Anytime. I mean, you got my number. So it's one thing about like when I do connect with people, like fandom aside, I would say that I love my fans. I do. And then I do have certain people that started off as fans that became friends. So, I'm not one of those people where I just don't talk to people because you're a fan. Like, that's weird and stupid to me, because at the end of the day, I'm a fan.
Yeah.
So why would I do that to other people? I don't get why people would do that. Like, hell, when I was backstage first time WWE, when I first did extra work, I'm not gonna say I was starstruck, but I was just like, oh shoot, that's like John Cena over there. That's like,
I would have lost my shit for John Cena though.
But you gotta stay cool.
Yeah.
After a while, when you do so much extra work and you're around them for so long, they start to talk to you like, hey, what's going on? How's your day? So that showed me, like, I can reach out to Trinity and she reaches back. When at first I was like, when I see Naomi, I'm like, oh my God, it's Naomi. She's so beautiful and sweet. And she came up to me and was like, hey, my name's Trinity. I'm like, I know you are. But that's just to show you, sometimes, fan aside, we all love this business. We all love this business. And, there are certain people that even if they are fans, you get to know them and you're like, all right, they cool as shit. So, you become friends with them.
Yeah. And just to parrot it a little bit over what Danielle was saying, again, we just appreciate you taking the time out of your day, especially, I don't know if you're off or you have to work, but regardless of you taking the time to speak with us. And again, like, you're someone that I really like watching where your career is going, and I'm really excited for your future. So I was able, for me, who's someone who's more of a fan of your work and what you're all doing, I'm glad to see that all the work that get to talk to you about all the work that you put in and seeing all the things that you're excited of for your future.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
So that's what I'm excited about. But again, thank you so much for really like taking time to listen to me and this dude down here and Danielle ramble for a bit.
Oh, no worries. Just thank you for having me. You know, when Danielle hit me up asking me if I wanted to do this, yeah, yeah, I got you. Just let me know when, because I know we had said like a different date, and I was just like, no, I can't do that because you know wrestling is starting to pick back up. Like I got you know, Black Wrestlers Matter, and then I got LVAC that's coming up, and what I think next weekend. So
where's that at?
That's going to be, it's like Lehigh Valley, PA. It's going to be a drive-in theater.
Yeah, they're thinking about starting that in Ohio.
It's going to be lit.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'll talk to you about that once we get off camera.
Okay.
But we're going to end it out. So, you know, this is the We Love Wrestling spot. Danielle from the Pretty Hills, Nicole from Down for the Count. We're with Faye Jackson. We thank you. We appreciate you coming on, just talking with us. And, you know, as I always say to close it out, if I love wrestling and you love wrestling, we love wrestling. It's too sweet for the culture.
Ladies and gentlemen, the answer to your prayers is here. My name is Ariella Nix, and if I love wrestling and you love wrestling, then we love wrestling.